Have you ever met someone and felt it instantly? An inexplicable familiarity, a recognition so deep it defies all logic. Your eyes lock, and in that moment, the world stops. Your heart pounds in your chest, screaming that you've just found a lost piece of your own soul. But then, the crushing reality hits you. They're married, or committed to a life with someone else. You're left asking, how can the universe be this cruel? Why would it show me my twin flame, only to make them completely unavailable? Are you going insane? Or is there a hidden divine purpose behind this impossible, soul-crushing situation? The legendary psychologist Carl Jung had a revolutionary answer to this very pain. And what I'm about to share might be the most transformative secret you'll ever hear about soul connections. This isn't just another video. This is the key to understanding why your twin flame is with someone else, and more importantly, the true, profound spiritual mission behind your seemingly doomed encounter. Prepare yourself, because this revelation is designed to shatter your entire perspective on love, destiny, and spiritual growth. If you stay with me until the very end, I promise you will understand why this agonizing situation is not a curse, but the exact spiritual medicine your soul has been crying out for to finally evolve. Now, before we unlock this, I have a small favor. A huge number of people who find healing in these videos aren't actually subscribed. If you feel that connection, take 1 second to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. It ensures you won't miss the insights that could change your life. And while you're at it, please press the like button to help this message reach others who are suffering in silence. And one more thing, I want to see how far these teachings are spreading, so comment below with what city or country you're watching from. Now let's begin your transformation. Before we dive into the complexity of a committed twin flame, we need to understand what this concept truly means through the eyes of Jung, because the internet is full of romanticizations about twin flames that confuse more than they clarify. Jung didn't exactly use the term twin flame, but his studies on synchronicity, individuation, and the collective unconscious provide the most solid scientific basis for understanding these extraordinary connections. For Jung, certain people enter our lives not by chance, but as part of an archetypal process of psychological completion. The twin flame, in the Jungian perspective, is that person who carries the perfect projection of your anima or animus, the inner counterpart of the opposite sex that exists in each of us. That's why the recognition is so immediate and overwhelming. You are not simply falling in love with a person. You are recognizing a fundamental part of yourself, reflected in the other. But here is the crucial point that most people don't understand. Twin flames do not necessarily come to form conventional relationships. They come to catalyze profound transformations, awaken dormant aspects of the psyche, and accelerate the process of individuation, the path to becoming truly who you are. Jung observes that the most transformative connections in our lives are frequently accompanied by apparent impossibilities. It's as if the universe creates specific obstacles to force us to grow in ways we couldn't in comfortable situations. When your twin flame is married or committed, this is not a cosmic error. It is a perfect design for a specific type of spiritual evolution. You have been called not just to love, but to transcend possessive love and discover higher forms of human connection. The pain you feel is not evidence that something is wrong. It is evidence that something profoundly right is happening on a level that your conscious mind cannot yet fully comprehend. If you are wondering why the universe would allow you to meet your twin flame in an impossible situation, Jung had a revolutionary perspective on this. He believed that the psyche has its own intelligence, and that it orchestrates specific encounters to teach us lessons we could not learn otherwise. Think of the spiritual alchemy that Jung studied intensely. The alchemical process does not seek to create easy gold. It requires substances to be subjected to extreme heat, pressure, and painful transformations, so that something truly valuable can emerge. The encounter with an unavailable twin flame is exactly this type of alchemical process. The apparent cruelty serves specific purposes. First, it shatters your illusions about how love should work. It forces you to question if you truly understand what unconditional love is. Second, it prevents you from hiding in a relational comfort zone. pushing you into unknown territories of personal growth. Jung observed that the greatest psychological transformations happen when we are forced to confront irreconcilable paradoxes. The love you feel for your married twin flame is one of these paradoxes. You love genuinely, but you cannot possess. You connect deeply, but you must maintain distance. You recognize your destiny, but you must accept the divine timing. This tension between desire and impossibility creates what Jung called the transcendent function, the psychological ability to hold opposites in balance until a third possibility emerges. In the case of twin flames, this third possibility is often a form of love that transcends the limitations of the ego and social expectations. The universe is not cruel, it is surgical. This situation was specifically designed to heal parts of you that could not be healed in conventional circumstances. Perhaps you need to learn to love without possessing, or to find inner completeness without depending on external validation, or to develop a deep faith in divine timing, even when your human mind screams for control. The person your twin flame is married to is not an innocent victim or an inconvenient obstacle. They are part of the same spiritual design. Everyone involved in this dynamic has specific lessons to learn, soul contracts to honor, and growth to experience. Even when your twin flame is committed to someone else, the connection between you cannot be completely hidden. There are specific signs that Jung would identify as evidence of a true synchronicity of souls. But be careful. It is important to distinguish between genuine connection and fanciful projection. The first sign is what Jung would call archetypal recognition. When you meet, there is a familiarity that goes beyond logic. It's not just physical attraction or mental compatibility. It's as if you have known each other for lifetimes. She might say something, and you finish the sentence. Or you might have synchronized experiences, dreaming of each other on the same night, thinking of the other at the exact moment they appear. The second sign is the mutual ability to see beyond social masks, directly to the essence of the other. Jung calls this seeing beyond the persona. Even in a brief encounter, you can perceive aspects of each other's personality that usually remain hidden. It's as if the natural psychological defenses automatically disarm. Another crucial indicator is the catalytic effect you have on each other. After meeting your twin flame, even with them being committed, you likely noticed significant changes in your life. Perhaps you started questioning old beliefs, seeking spiritual growth, or making changes you had been postponing for years. Their presence in your life, even at a distance, acts as a catalyst for your evolution. There is also the phenomenon we could call silent, energetic communication. You can feel each other's emotional state without physical contact. You might know intuitively when they are going through difficulties, or they might contact you just when you most need some kind of sign or validation. But here is a sign that many people ignore: mutual respect for existing commitments. If they are truly your twin flame and you are spiritually attuned, there will be a tacit understanding that the growth of both is more important than the immediate satisfaction of desires. They will not impulsively break their commitments, nor will you pressure them to do so. The true connection also manifests through what Jung called controlled inflation. You feel inspired and uplifted by the connection, but you don't lose your sense of reality. There is a transcendent quality to the interaction that makes you feel more connected to the divine, to purpose, to life in general. Jung believed deeply that there are no accidental encounters, especially those that provoke profound transformations in our lives. The encounter with your married twin flame has specific spiritual purposes that go far beyond conventional romance. The first purpose is what Jung would call accelerated individuation. The emotional tension created by this situation forces you to develop aspects of your personality that might remain dormant in normal circumstances. You learn to deal with unconditional love, conscious detachment, faith without guarantees, and divine patience, qualities that are essential for spiritual maturity. The second purpose is the healing of karmic patterns related to possessive love. Many souls come to this life carrying unconscious memories of relationships where love turned into control, jealousy, or emotional dependency. Loving your twin flame from a distance, respecting their commitments, is a way to purify these old dynamics and learn higher forms of love. There is also the purpose of developing what Jung called conscious love. Most relationships operate on autopilot, driven by unconscious needs, projections, and repetitive family patterns. When you love someone you cannot have, you are forced to consciously examine every feeling, every motivation, every desire. This develops a purer, less neurotic quality of love. The encounter also serves to activate what we could call the capacity for spiritual service. When you experience this type of transcendent love, even if one-sided, you develop a deeper understanding of human connections that can be used to help others. Many people who have gone through this experience become counselors, therapists, or simply wiser friends. Jung observes that certain painful experiences serve to prepare us for greater spiritual responsibilities. Perhaps you are being prepared for future work that requires a deep understanding of unconditional love, or for a future relationship that will be richer and more mature because of what you learned through this experience. There is also the purpose of awakening your connection with the divine. When human love reaches its limits, when you love deeply but cannot have, you are naturally pushed to seek more transcendent sources of satisfaction and meaning. Many people discover their true spirituality through these experiences of impossible love. Finally, there is the purpose of modeling a different type of love for the world. Your ability to love without possessing, to respect the other's autonomy, to find joy in their happiness even when it doesn't include you, is a rare example of emotional maturity that can inspire other people. The emotional reality of loving your married twin flame is like living on a daily spiritual roller coaster. Jung understood that certain psychological experiences are so intense that they require specific management strategies to not become destructive. The first strategy is what Jung would call the conscious acceptance of the paradox. Instead of fighting against the reality of the situation, you must embrace it completely. Yes, you found your twin flame. Yes, they are married. Both truths can coexist without one canceling out the other. Mental resistance to this reality only amplifies the suffering. The second principle is to distinguish between feeling and acting based on those feelings. Jung emphasized the importance of fully experiencing our emotions without necessarily allowing them to dictate our behavior. You can feel longing, passion, sadness, hope. All these emotions are valid and should be honored, but that doesn't mean you should act to try to change their situation. A powerful technique is what Jung called dialogue with the unconscious. Write letters to your twin flame that you will never send. Express everything you feel without filters. Then write replies as if it were them, trying to channel their perspective. This process helps to integrate different aspects of the situation and develop a more mature understanding of the dynamic. Jung would also recommend working with dreams during this period. People in twin flame situations often have very significant dreams that offer guidance on how to navigate the situation. Keep a dream journal and pay special attention to those involving your twin flame or related symbols. It is crucial to develop what Jung called emotional continence, the ability to contain intense feelings without exploding or repressing them. This means creating healthy rituals to process your emotions. Meditation, physical exercise, artistic expression, time in nature. Your emotional energy needs constructive channels of expression. Another essential strategy is to maintain healthy social connections. The tendency when living this type of love is to isolate oneself, feeding fantasies and dramatizing the situation. Jung insisted on the importance of maintaining balanced relationships with other people. They help you keep perspective and not lose touch with consensual reality. Also practice what Jung would call conscious presence when you are in their presence. Instead of getting lost in romantic fantasies or analyzing every gesture, simply be present. Appreciate the opportunity to be near this special energy without trying to turn it into something it is not. Finally, develop a spiritual practice that connects you with something greater than this specific situation. It could be meditation, prayer, philosophical study, volunteer work, any activity that reminds you that you are part of something much larger than your personal drama. Jung observed that the greatest opportunities for psychological growth come disguised as the greatest emotional difficulties. The situation of loving your married twin flame is one of these disguised opportunities, a chance to develop spiritual qualities that are rare in humanity today. The first required growth is the development of detached love. Most people confuse love with possession, passion with need, connection with dependence. In this situation, you are forced to purify your concept of love. You must learn to love truly, to desire the other's happiness, even when it doesn't include you. This is not resignation. It is a much higher form of love. The second growth is the development of divine patience, the ability to trust the universe's timing, even when it contradicts your personal desires. Jung believed that certain lessons can only be learned through conscious waiting. You are learning that some things cannot be forced, controlled, or manipulated, no matter how intense your will is. There is also the growth of emotional integrity. In a situation where it would be easy to justify questionable behaviors, trying to seduce a married person, creating drama to force change, manipulating emotionally, you are called to maintain your highest values. This strengthens your character in ways that other situations could not. Jung emphasized the importance of developing what he called the transcendent function, the ability to hold psychological tensions without resolving them prematurely. In this situation, you learn to live with ambiguity, uncertainty, and paradoxes. This is an advanced psychological capacity that serves in all areas of life. Another crucial growth is the ability to find meaning in suffering. Jung believed that conscious suffering that is accepted and integrated rather than avoided, is transformative. You are learning that not all pain needs to be eliminated immediately, that some pains carry spiritual gifts that can only be accessed through the complete experience. There is also the development of universal compassion. When you go through this type of situation, you develop a deep understanding of the complexity of human relationships. You stop judging people who are in love triangles, who make seemingly wrong choices, or who live in complicated situations. This expanded compassion is a gift that serves the world. The growth of emotional self-sufficiency is another fundamental aspect. You learn that your happiness cannot depend on specific external circumstances. Even while deeply loving your twin flame, you must develop an inner source of satisfaction and purpose that is independent of the relational situation. Finally, there is the growth of spiritual faith, the conviction that there is a greater intelligence operating in your life, even when you cannot understand the complete plan. This faith is not naivety. It is wisdom developed through the direct experience of synchronicities and meanings that transcend common logic. The question that won't go away: is there a real possibility of union with your married twin flame? Jung would say that this question is poorly framed. The question is not when or how, but if you will be prepared to recognize and embrace whatever possibility the universe presents. The first Jungian principle about divine timing is that it never operates according to human schedules. If a union is meant to happen, it will happen when both people are spiritually prepared to sustain that level of connection. This could be months, years, decades, or even never in this lifetime. And all of these possibilities are equally valid from a spiritual point of view. Jung observed that forcing synchronicities is impossible. They arise when there is an alignment between personal consciousness and the universal flow. In the context of twin flames, this means that a union can only happen when both people have sufficiently completed their individuation process to sustain a mature relationship. If she is married, there are lessons she needs to learn in that current situation. It could be about commitment, about honoring soul contracts, about developing specific aspects of her personality that only emerge in that relational context. Trying to interfere in this process is like trying to rush the ripening of a fruit. You might be able to pick it from the tree, but it won't be sweet. The correct role for you during this waiting period is to focus completely on your own growth. Jung emphasized that we can only attract what we vibrate with energetically. If you want a mature and spiritual union with your twin flame, you first need to become someone capable of sustaining that type of relationship. This means healing your own problematic relational patterns, developing your career, your talents, your unique contribution to the world, learning to be happy alone, to find purpose independent of romantic validation, to cultivate qualities like patience, compassion, wisdom, and faith. Jung believed that when two people are truly ready to unite, the universe removes obstacles naturally. This can happen in surprising ways, changes that neither of you could have foreseen or planned. But trying to force these changes, through manipulation or pressure, usually results in more complications. If a separation happens naturally in her marriage, it is crucial that it is not because of your pressure. She needs to come to her own conclusions about what is best for her life. Your function is simply to be emotionally and spiritually available for whatever possibility arises. But here is a truth that Jung would insist on highlighting. Physical union may not be the final goal. Some twin flames come to teach about, transcendent forms of love that do not require conventional relationships. The spiritual connection between you may be more powerful and transformative at a distance than it would be in a premature physical union. The ultimate test is your ability to genuinely desire her happiness, even if she chooses to remain married. If you can love without possessing, support without controlling, and find joy in her joy, regardless of where it comes from, then you have developed the type of love that twin flames are destined to teach. Regardless of how your specific situation resolves, Jung would say that the experience of loving your married twin flame has already transformed you irreversibly. You are no longer the same person you were before this encounter. And this transformation, not the physical union, may be the true gift that this experience came to bring. The first transformation is the expansion of your capacity to love. You have discovered that it is possible to feel a love so deep that it doesn't need possession to exist. This frees you from neurotic patterns in all your future relationships. You will no longer confuse love with control or passion with emotional dependency. The second transformation is the development of a more mature relationship with suffering. Jung observed that the ability to find meaning in pain is one of the hallmarks of psychological evolution. You have learned that not all suffering is useless, that some pains carry precious spiritual gifts. There is also the transformation of your relationship with time and control. You have directly experienced that some of the most important things in life cannot be forced or controlled. This develops a quality of surrender and trust that serves in all areas of your experience. Jung emphasized that archetypal experiences leave permanent marks on the psyche. The encounter with your twin flame has activated aspects of your personality that will remain awakened forever. You now have access to levels of sensitivity, intuition, and spiritual understanding that you didn't have before. The transformation also includes a deeper connection with your life's mission. Many people report that after the encounter with their twin flame, even with them being unavailable, clarity arises about their purpose, career, and unique contribution to the world. It's as if the experience awakened them to aspects of themselves that were dormant. There is a quality of spiritual initiation in this experience. You have passed through an emotional trial by fire and emerged with expanded capabilities. This often leads to a sense of spiritual responsibility, the perception that you have something unique to offer based on what you have learned. The final transformation is perhaps the most important, the ability to recognize and honor sacred connections wherever they appear. You will no longer be a person who goes through life oblivious to synchronicities, meaningful encounters, or opportunities for growth, disguised as difficulties. This experience has taught you that true love is greater than circumstances, more powerful than obstacles, and more permanent than physical relationships. This knowledge is not theoretical. You have experienced it directly, and that changes everything about how you relate to the world. If you have come this far, you have already understood that the encounter with your married twin flame was not a cruel accident of fate. It was an invitation to a form of spiritual evolution that few humans have the courage or the opportunity to experience. Carl Jung dedicated his life to understanding how the psyche operates through paradoxes and apparent impossibilities. The events we resist the most are often the ones we most need in order to grow. The situation you are living is not a mistake to be corrected, but a mystery to be embraced. Your twin flame may be married in this life, because you both need to learn specific lessons that are only possible in this configuration. She may be learning about commitment, about honoring promises, about developing specific aspects of herself that only emerge in her current relationship. You are learning about unconditional love, divine patience, and faith without guarantees. The universe never wastes experiences. Every moment of pain you felt, every night you questioned the meaning of it all, every day you chose to love without possessing, all of it is building qualities in you that will serve you forever. You are becoming someone capable of loving in a purer, freer, more transcendent way. Maybe physical union will happen at the right time, maybe not. But the spiritual union that already exists between you is permanent and cannot be broken by external circumstances. This connection goes beyond this life, beyond this time, beyond these apparent limitations. What matters is not whether you will get your twin flame. What matters is who you are becoming through this experience. And the person you are becoming, wiser, more compassionate, more spiritually mature, is someone worthy of any love the universe wants to bring. Remember what Jung taught us. The ultimate goal of life was never about simple happiness, but about profound, earth-shattering meaning. And the meaning you have just unlocked from this impossible experience is a sacred treasure that no one can ever take from you. You haven't just learned something. You have awakened to the fact that you can love beyond the prison of the ego. This is not just growth. It is an extraordinary spiritual achievement. From this moment on, trust the process. Honor the sacred connection you feel. Respect the divine timing, no matter how painful, and commit to becoming the powerful person this experience is forging you into. Because the secret is this: the true union your soul has been crying for was never with another person, but with the magnificent higher version of yourself. You made it to the end, and I honor you for that. If this message resonated deep within your soul, if you saw your own story in these words, I need you to do 3 simple things to anchor this transformation. First, press the like button to help this wisdom find others who are lost in the same pain. Second, a huge number of people who have life-changing breakthroughs with these videos forget to subscribe. So, if you want to continue exploring the deepest mysteries of the soul, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right now. Your journey with these transformative teachings is just beginning. Finally, to declare your new understanding to the universe and to me, go to the comments right now and write this powerful affirmation: I claim my higher purpose. This way, I know this message has truly empowered you. Your journey forward is more beautiful than you can possibly imagine.